Hey guys, I'm out here at the Game to Life facility. This is a brand new facility right here in Lake Charles, Louisiana that has some really cool things going on. Judson McCord, the owner and operator of the facility, is a good friend of mine, and I'm gonna take you inside and I want you to see this place. You're gonna be shocked, and I think you're gonna be happy. Told you a little bit about the facility outside. Judson, take me through what you're talking about here, because this is so new to the lake area. I wanna make sure everybody out there understands what you're offering.
Sure. So basically, the way that these guns are set up is each person that dons the gear, they're going to be associated with a number. To take it a step further than that, what we actually have is players' cards where their statistics are tracked. So each round that you spend out of these guns or each laser that's fired, everything is tracked statistically.
Okay.
So we actually have different levels of experience points that you can gather, things like that. But the way that this works, essentially.
Now, to stop you for one quick second, I noticed what looked like a DJ booth up there. Is that where you're tracking everything? Is that where all of your data is being collected upstairs?
Yeah, that's our control booth. What we do is we set up the game depending on the actual mission set. We'll have people that have their gamer tags on our TVs, so they'll know exactly what gear to put on. Our team leaders will break you through the actual mission, show you some different points on the map maybe that you can utilize, things like that. But it's very much a I guess you would say a gamer's game.
So describe the gear. Okay, I know some people out there may be familiar with the old school, your grandma's laser tag type.
Sure.
This is not the same thing.
No.
Explain what we're dealing with here with the gear. If somebody comes in to run through a session, they're going to get kitted out.
Right.
Describe the equipment that they're going to be donned and kitted out with.
Okay, so you'll have a headband, you'll have a vest, and you'll have a gun. Nothing is tethered, everything is wireless. Our vests are very lightweight. They're water wicking, so you're not going to be putting on somebody else's sweaty stuff. Each of these lockers are retrofitted out with fans. We disinfect and everything, so we make sure that all of our gear is top notch and good to go. The best thing about this stuff is that you can move freely. Whenever it gets into actually manipulating the weapon system that we use here, there is a sequence that you have to do to reload. That's kind of where the tactical part kind of plays into it. So you're actually hands-on with what's going on with your gun. When you go back to your spawn points, which is another dynamic, when you knock out of the game, depending on the game set, you have the ability to respawn, but you have to go back to the respawn points that are inside of your base.
So respawning is basically getting a new life.
Correct, it's getting a new life.
Okay, now you mentioned the headbands and all that. These are all equipped with sensors, right? That's
Yep.
what's telling me if I've been hit or if I'm dead.
Right, sure. So what's going to happen is if you're tagged, everything is going to illuminate, and that's going to count for elimination for the other team. Depending on the mission set, like I said, there's different levels of that, right? So it can be a generic, maybe it only takes 2 shots in order to eliminate a player. Maybe it takes 4 or 5 because that player is the juggernaut, or maybe that player is carrying the flag, certain situations like that, right? But essentially what will happen when you're tagged is all your vest and your headband will illuminate, your rifle will then shut down, giving you the notification, hey, look, you're hit, you're lit up, you got to go back and respawn, and you can go back and get the fight.
So unlike other forms of this type of, I guess, non-lethal type combat, like a paintball gun, for instance, you can't say you didn't hit me.
Absolutely.
The computer knows you got hit.
Sure, and all these guns are set to hard just because of the sheer fact that we don't want anybody coming in here just spraying, things like that. We want to make sure everybody's trained down the guns, because if you think of it from the perspective of like a first-person shooter game or something like that, we want to engage our field people or our people that are playing the game. We want to make sure that they're staying on their guns and actually playing the game correctly. This is geared more towards adults, obviously, with the type of gear. I mean, my kids wish that they could play. I have an 11-year-old daughter at home. She can hardly even hold these things. They're pretty heavy. So that's why we go with 13 years old or up. And it's a thinking game. There's mission sets where you're actually going to have to utilize, how are we going to get behind this cover, or certain situations of how to feed around the field and get away from your enemy, things like that. So.
And it sounds to me like, obviously, it being an adult, there are some things that, even though I'm proficient with firearms or whatnot, I could probably still come in here and hone and probably sharpen some skills as far as breaching doors and clearing rooms and things like that. It sounds like there's some applications that I could still come in here? I guess what I'm saying is a seasoned person could still gain something from coming over here.
Sure. I mean, from what we're looking at on the actual gun side of things is that training can be necessarily anything. If you're gaming it and treating it as, as a training aid, and you're doing the things that allow you to not get hit. I mean, there's going to be kids in here that are whooping people's butts that have been on guns for years just because the kids are a little bit better at gaming than you are. So the skill gap is kind of one of the things that the computers will auto balance out as you come in here. If you are just kicking butt and you're mowing kids down, your XP will go up, putting you in a different category. We're going to offer some things for people that get certain XP on certain levels. As you level up, you track all these things. After each match, you'll get an email, how you did, your accuracy, how many shots you fired, how many times you were hit, things like that. And it's kind of one of the deals is as you get better, your experience points will grow, and then we'll know, and whenever the computer goes to balance you in, it'll put you on the team that needs you the most.
Good. Well, take me through let's say I'm new, I've never been here before, I'm excited to come here, I walk through the door. What is my day going to look like?
Sure. So whenever you show up here at Game to Life, we'll issue you a player's card, and with that player's card, it's going to track all your data through this facility. Whether you're coming to throw axes, you're coming to play laser tag, or maybe you're coming to do like some virtual reality that we'll have soon, we'll make sure that your card keeps everything that you have going on here. There's also a world leaderboard with iCombat equipment that we're running that'll allow you to play against people outside of this facility.
I like it. So I'm going to come in here, you're going to kit me out with this, and then I'm going to get into the arena, and then I'm going to go to town, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to come with, and I'm just curious, thinking from a customer standpoint, do I need to bring my own group of guys, or are you going to have people that are sitting here waiting for other people to come in to outfit their teams? How does that work?
Right, so our sessions are going to run every hour on the hour. A session is going to include 3 mission sets. When you come through the door, like I said, you'll get your player's card. With that, you'll enter all your information, your gamer tag. We like people to be kind of creative with their names and things. It's kind of the name that you're going to carry on through. It's what you have on the leaderboards. It's what will show up here on the board to associate.
You don't want to say, my name is Gary.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You don't want to just be Paul. You want to have something pretty neat on there. Right. But anyhow, so once you get your player's card, you're signed up for the session. You'll come in here, you'll be walk through how all the gear works. We'll put everything on, your team leaders will walk you out, and then we'll start the missions. Each mission set, we have a video that's going to describe exactly how the missions go on, as well as the team leaders kind of walking you through everything. For a person that's brand new off the street, they've never handled a gun in their life, you'd be surprised how well they execute playing this game. Mm-hmm. It's very user friendly. Once we show you how the manipulations work, we show you how all the gear works, it's very simple.
Real quick, I noticed the arena. The arena is not just a big open area with a bunch of barrels. You guys have put some time into this, trying to make it more realistic. Explain to me about the arena and why it's set up the way it is.
So the reason for the actual setups are for a training standpoint. For entertainment laser tag, from what we've seen, we're not seeing a whole lot of people paying attention to the props. But the reason why it is so lifelike and so realistic is for the training aspect. We are getting into, some force-on-force stuff, some simunition type things, as well as airsoft, and our laser gear, which we do have training aids that mimic the real thing. They work excellent, but each house is set up a specific way for certain scenarios. That way I can get some guys in here and we can train 12 different scenarios all in one building, and it'd be completely different each and every time.
All right. Look, man, you know me, I'm very focused on trying to make sure that the people of the Lake area and anybody outside the Lake area understands the importance of being trained properly, gun safety and all that. I've pushed that. Unfortunately, not enough people do. I will definitely hold you guys to that. I'll want to see that you're not indoctrinating kids to be scared of guns, but you're making them feel more comfortable with them. That's the things that I would like to see, that I'm really excited to see what you guys can do to make sure that these kids don't come in here with this standoffish effect that, oh, the guns are bad. I think that this is awesome that you guys are doing this. I like the fact that you're going to allow 13 and up to come in here. I do think some kids can't process at too young of an age pointing guns at each other that look very real life,
Sure.
lifelike. Because what I would be afraid of is that they see that same gun and think it's a toy or think it's a laser tag gun at home, because these are so realistic. I think at 13 they can start processing that. That's probably why you guys have it set like that. But I think also there's a certain amount of respect that we can also teach, and you guys have a perfect opportunity to do that, because you're bringing these youngsters in here and you're introducing them to something that's non-lethal. And I think it's awesome that you can tell them, now look, we're aiming these guns at each other now, but you have an opportunity to teach them gun safety when there's no real danger involved. And I think that's awesome. And I'm really looking forward to you guys offering that too, because I think that's really cool to teach these kids at a young age. Guns are not bad. You just have to be respectful of them.
Right.
So
yeah, we do plan on, so another thing that we do offer here at Game to Life is concealed carry classes, Guns 101, things like that. Eddie the Eagle program with the NRA is something that we plan on doing. I guess to kind of speak to your point on the gun safety thing, it's built into the program. Before we actually play laser tag, we go through the do's and don'ts with the laser gear, as well as pertaining to real firearms. And like you said, familiarizing the youth of what actually a gun can do will then take away that exciting factor of, this is something new, let me try and, these kids are curious. If we give them all the information, you'd be surprised how they handle it. To know, hey, look, that can hurt me, that can hurt others, this isn't a game. Outside of here, which is also very secure in here, one way in, one way out, we look forward to being able to help our youth understand, gun safety.
right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, Judson. Can't wait for you guys. We'll post some information on screen how you can get in touch with these guys, opening and all that good stuff. I look forward to some really cool stuff from you guys, and I know y'all going to do it well. I've been watching these guys build this place up from dirt to where it is now, and I'm really excited to see this place opening up and offer something new and cool to the Lake Charles area.